Hey guys, how's it going? My name's always and welcome back to Sky Factory 3. In the last episode, we were working on trying to automate disenchanting items with integrated dynamics. Oh boy, this has been a project, and I've done a lot of it off work, but yeah, it's not quite there yet. I can show you guys what I've done so far. But I'll be honest, this is something that I'm really scratching my brain at. I'm not very good at the integrated dynamics and figuring out all the little intricacies of it. One of the big things with all of this, though, is there is some weirdness with some of the parts and whatnot that don't work exactly how I think. And one of the big things is there is a difference between entities, items, and everything else, obviously. But there's a difference between entities and items. When this is in a chest, it's an item. When it's on the ground, it's an entity. So dealing with that, and then some of the variables are only for certain types of items. It's complicated, and I'm trying to work out most of it. I've got it about halfway done, which is good. There is still a lot of work to do before we can get the rainbow generator actually working. We're gonna start working on a little bit of that today, but we're gonna just kind of go through the achievement book and do whatever we can. But yeah, there's still a lot to do. I need to get more cows. I've been breeding the cows a couple times every once in a while when I remember to. In fact, it looks like I can again. So let's grab some more wheat and get some more cows. And okay, cool. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to kind of consider. But let me walk you guys through what I have so far. And here's the good news. If I take some items and let's throw these two items down, it doesn't change. Still says false. But if I throw these items down, it says true. And if I throw those items down, it says false. If I throw those items down, it still says false. So basically what this is telling us is if there is an enchanted item, and it should work regardless whether it's a bow or pants, for example. So if we put pants in a book, it says true. And that is huge. So what that means is that the system knows at the very least when there is a book and an enchanted item in this space. And that is good enough for us to, I can just put that exact variable card into the redstone writer and it will send a redstone signal. And we can unenchant the item. So that part is done. Now, here's the hard part. One, we've got to turn the vacuum chest on after this shoots. And then we also need to get exactly one item out of each of these chests. Also after that shoots. And if there are not items in these chests, then we need to, I think the best thing to do is we can just detect if there's items in both of those chests. And if there are, then keep going. If there's not, then don't. So that might be the other thing. And that I should be able to figure out. But the hard part with all of this, so I'll show you all the variables we have. There's two sets, and they're exactly the same. So what we have is we have two entity readers now. This entity reader looks at the first item that drops. So this was the big thing I was missing. When these entity readers look for items, they only can detect one item. And it's in the order that they're dropped. So if I throw a cobblestone, a book, and an item dislocator, actually, let's do things that are a little bit shorter. Words, book. We'll do the dirt and glass. So if I throw, let's do glass, book, dirt. This says glass, book, it has all the entities in the list, but it only sees the entity glass because that was the first one that dropped. This one is set to look at the second item. So it starts at 0. 0 is the first item. 1 is the second item. It's weird, but it just basically starts counting at 0 instead of at 1. That's the only thing. So it sees the glass, whereas neither of them see the dirt. So what does that matter? Why does that matter to do? Well, that's why I have two sets of variables. So what we're doing is we have the entities for each of those entity readers. That's what this first variable card is. Part 1 and part 10 are part 1 and part 10. You can see the IDs at the top when I look at them. And then for both of them, we have the item entity. So this is basically saying, hey, whatever that item is, we're going to call it whatever that entity is, we're going to call it an item now. This is where it was getting confusing because I can only work with some things being items. Some of the variables only work with items, such as the enchanted variable, operator, I guess. So what this does is says, hey, that entity, I want you to look at it like an item. That's all it does. And so this operator says, hey, if that item is enchanted, send a true. And this one is a little bit different. So we have one variable card that is, hey, that item, if it's a book, then that's what I want to see. We're going to say this item, this variable card, basically says book. And what this variable does is it says, hey, that item that you're looking at, if it is equal to a book, then send true. And then we have one last variable card that says, okay, so look at whether the item is enchanted or whether the item is a book. And if either of those is correct, then send true. And I know if you're not familiar with programming, this is a little bit much, but basically this entire line of things is just saying, hey, whatever item you see in this spot, I know it's an entity, look at it like an item, and if it's a book or a enchanted item, say, hey, yeah, we've got one of those. And then this does the exact same thing for the other one. And the reason I have to do that is because I don't want it to matter which item falls first. If I didn't duplicate everything exactly and said had this one look to see if it's a book and see if this one's an enchanted item, if the book fell second and the enchanted item was the first one on the ground, then this would not work. It would send a false because this guy would only see the first item that fell. And if it's looking for a book, and if the first item that fell was an enchanted item, then it's not going to work. So all of that is duplicated because we need it to be. And then this, all it says is it's an and. So if both of these or variables, so if both of these see either a book or an enchanted item, this says true. That's it. And what we can do is we can use that true to send a redstone signal. So very complicated. It took me a while. I was sitting here for like half an hour trying to get things to work. And I do have some I'm a little bit self-taught with programming, so I understand the concepts. It's just dealing with the limitations that I have. Integrated dynamics is both very powerful and very limited, so it's not as cut and dry to just do something. There's not a variable card that says, hey, look to see if there's two items in this spot. I actually have to manipulate things. And I had thought that using the list, because this does give an entity list, would be enough, but I just couldn't get that to work. So I went with something else, and it seems to work just fine. So that is good. However, I don't really want to spend the time to figure out the rest of it today, so I'm not going to. So enough of that. Let's move on to some other things. So first things first, something that we've needed to do for a while and is going to be super useful to do anyways, which is why I have the extra piece of dirt. This entire time, there's a reason. I want to go ahead and get the Ender.io farming station set up with 20 different crops. Now that means we have to come up with 20 different crops to grow. Now the cool thing is, one, we're going to need let's get rid of this stuff for now. I will use it as needed later. We're going to need what are they called? Are they called nodes? No. Flux point. That's what they're called. I couldn't remember. We're going to need a flux point. It'll craft one of those. It shouldn't be too bad. Because our Ender.io station does need power. Now, something I want to make note of. We will probably still use this capacitor bank a little bit. Just to kind of have more power. We'll fill this guy up once we're ready to do that. He's empty currently, but yeah, I'm glad I saw that. He's empty currently, but we'll fix that relatively soon. And I'll have some power go into here to power the Flux network. That's it. But anything that needs a lot of power, we'll just go ahead and start using the IO crystals, such as this guy. So we'll kind of have a mixture of power. It shouldn't be too bad to deal with, but it could be a little bit annoying. Anyways, we need 20 different crops. And that is something I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. So this is 27 spots, right? Yeah, it's 3 times 9. So 18, we need these spots filled. Okay. Let's just do it this way. So we need something like that. Let's see. I want to take seeds. Oh, I already have a flux point down here. Oh well. Potatoes, carrots, rice. I think these are all good things to start growing. But what else can we get? We could do soybeans. Soybeans are pretty useful. And I know that I talked about wanting to get more stuff. If this... Haha, it is unbreakable. Alright, cool. So, if we put a flux point underneath this guy, let's select our network. Has power now. Make sure the range is right, and it is. Perfect. We can put the dirt back down. It has an octadic capacitor. Alright, so we just need 20 crops. That's a little bit easier said than done. So what else can we grow that would be useful? We could do hemp, but I think the best thing is just going to be whatever Pam seeds we can find. So that is kind of a question. Let's just get rid of this. Bell peppers, onions. What are some things that we could make that would be kind of cool? I think fruits would be fun. I don't really care, to be honest. Whatever we have lying around will be good enough. But we need to get them. I don't know how barley will act. Could grow beetroots, why not? Hemp, cotton. You know what? I don't think we need those. How are we doing on string? We have a lot of string. Yeah, we don't need those. So here is the question. If we want to get blueberries and all that, we're going to need gardens. And we can't get those. Okay. So if we sift dirt, what do we get? How can we get more seeds? Is there anything useful with that? Oh boy. This is going to be a little bit more challenging than I initially thought. Topiary grass. Forgot about that. But that just gets us things we don't really need. Okay. So let's go ahead. How many seeds are we up to? We'll get beetroots in there. We don't have to do a lot of all of these. We can just do a few. But looks like we're going to need to go dimension hopping. So I have draconium ore, random one. What is this dim 6? Let's go there. I think ID 8, yeah. Dial once. We have the advanced dislocator. Let's go ahead and grab a few things. Did I ever make a, was it a porter? No, the charge porter is this. What is the other thing called? Oh man, I cannot remember. RF tools. This thing. Phase field generator. Can I make one? Oh, I actually can. Okay, so this will be useful when we go out and explore. Because, well, put it quite simply, this thing will prevent us from dying immediately if our it gives you temporary protection while visiting a dimension that's unpowered. Don't let it run out of power. But by doing this, we can potentially, hopefully anyways, not die, which would be really nice. So we're gonna activate this. So what I am going to be looking for, and I don't remember which dimensions we have that are good or anything like that. It's been a while. They're all going to be skyblock type dimensions. But I want to find, basically I want to find some place that has gardens. And with that we can do multiple different, we can do multiple different crops and it will be a lot better. So let's head off to a dimension. And what do we have here? Anything good? No, it's completely blank. Alright. That is boring. I don't want to go to the dragon dimension, but I do know that there is stuff there. We also have... okay, so that one is bad. We also have the draconium dimlet. So, home, draconium ore, dial once. ID 10, yes. So this one might have something. I actually don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while since we've looked at the RF tool stuff. It definitely has the ore. There is some areas of grass and whatnot. You know, I realized something. We don't need to do dimlets. There is another way to get seeds. Potentially, anyways. And I kind of forgot about this. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to just put that back away. We need to get some grass and dirt. Let's get like a good bit. Actually, you know what? We have a place we can go. But let's grab a watering can. don't we have access to... Yeah, we could make this a premium watering can. Is there any others that would be good? There is the reinforced watering can. Which isn't bad, but the Supremium one, we can probably go ahead and make. So we're going to need Supremium ingots times, was it 4? Yes. And then we are going to need a base ingot as well, for these theoretical water, infinite water. Premium fertilization. So drop chance 1. I don't know how to get fertilized. I don't know how to get mystical fertilizer. Oh, fertilized essence probably, it has a drop chance of 1. So I make a bunch of Infernium, and that's probably how we get it. So let's make let's just make a stack of this. Or close to it. And I guess let's grab some seeds. So those are tier 2 seeds. We do have a stack of the tier 2s. I'm going to take a set of the tier 5s, because why not? And I think what we need to do, let's see, we need to get farmland for 1. So let's grab, do I have any other Maddox? Maddox, yes I do. Alright, this is not necessarily needed, but let's go ahead and put that there. And I think this is how we get the stuff we need. Well, I can make more and we can test it more. I think this is how we get the mystical fertilizer essence. It's just gonna cost a lot of diamonds. Let's just make a bunch more and see how this works. So the question is, are we going to get anything that's not, are we going to get that 1% chance of getting the fertilizer essence? That is so far apparently a no. This is strange. I might have to look into this one. If I care enough, to be honest. Cause yeah, we're not getting much out of that. So instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a bunch of bone meal and do what we should have done. Which is, of course, we're gonna go bone meal a grassy area for a little bit and hopefully get enough things. Get enough things of the different seeds and whatnot that we can do what we need. Ooh, you know what? One thing, actually, we're gonna make something. There is a really cool thing, the Horn of the Wild. We're gonna make that. This is a Botania item, and it's really, really cool because it's super useful for exactly what we're about to do. The question is, do we have the things needed to make it? We need a pasture seed and some living wood. Pasture seeds are pretty easy to make. We have so much stuff in here that we just never used. We should have some living wood. I think it's like 5. Yes. And then a pasture seed is just a normal seed, I think. No, it is grass thrown into the mana pool. So the question is, do we have any grass? No. So let's get some shears. Let's get some iron. And we'll make some shears. We need to find just some normal grass anyways. There we go. That was the wrong button. Okay. And see, we're already going to get seeds, which is pretty cool. But what we can do, we get the pasture seed, and then we can make the Horn of the Wild. So the Horn of the Wild not only makes an amazing noise. Let's get everything kind of set up. So the Horn of the Wild not only makes an amazing noise, it does something else too. Something fairly powerful. So let's fly over back to the big giant chest that we're never going to use. We might actually use it a little bit today, just because we can store stuff in there as we get more seeds. But we make all this grass, and it's really annoying to break all this. So we can just use the Horn of the Wild and break everything. Now, it doesn't look like we're getting any of the special seeds, the Pam's Harvestcraft seeds. Now, there is obviously one more way we can get this. This is also great for getting flowers. But, yeah, we're not getting any sort of other things. So let's try a different biome. Let's see. I think there's some biomes over here. Actually, where did we put the other? We have a forest and plains right over this way. So, yeah, there is other ways we can get the Pam's Harvestcraft seeds, and it's just a matter of making a bunch, to be perfectly honest. So let's just bone meal this area. There's going to be a lot of flowers, a lot of life. It looks nice. And then we just use the Horn of the Wild, and it destroys everything. It's really cool. I love this item. It makes such a nice noise. But it doesn't look like we can get Pam's Harvestcraft stuff from this. So back to square one. And square one obviously being, we're going to go talk to the market and probably trade emeralds for all the things we could want and need. So that, we'll just get a couple seeds of each, and then I'll slowly over time kind of expand the things that we want. So yeah, that will be the plan. We can put the Horn of the Wild away. So I think we're going to need some emeralds. I think we have a few emeralds. And market. So we want seeds. Do you not? This is farming for blockheads. Okay, there is another market that we can make. And I don't know. I think we already have it. It's right here. Okay. So spinach seeds. Kiwi. Let's buy like 5 of each. Cabbage, corn, sure. Cucumbers, I like cucumbers. Onions, I think we already had. Cactus fruit, nah. Spice leaf, sure. Mustard, candleberry, beets, bean, eggplant, raspberries. Now I really like raspberries. Blueberries, not so much, but alright, so that crashed my game. I'm not entirely sure why, but I went ahead and bought a bunch of seeds, and we're ready to plant. So, yeah, we have a lot of different things. We're gonna just plant everything, pretty much. And if we just throw in all of these seeds, I don't really care where they go or anything like that. But, yeah, they'll get in there. And this is more than 20 different types of seeds, so we don't have to worry about that. We have, cauliflower, cantaloupe, pineapple, bamboo shoots, pretty much whatever I could find. Bell peppers, soybeans, raspberries, tomatoes, cranberries, onions, and then basically whatever else we have, we're just gonna plant more stuff. There is a lot of room here, so you know what? We're gonna go ahead and get basically everything, and I don't really care if it's organized or not. And it'll plant everything eventually, and everything is growing, so we're gonna have a lot of things coming in, and then the rest will be seeds. All right, so we'll just lock that up. Now here is the question: as things grow, we're starting to get some of the blueberries and all that kind of stuff to grow, and theoretically I'm looking for something that might be done. So the pineapple, this pineapple is done, so hopefully we'll see it disappear but the plant stay, and it looks like that is exactly what happens, so that is good. We're gonna start getting a lot of things, and it looks like everything planted. No, not quite. Alright, so here is the problem. We're going to lock seeds into those. And the output is currently full. So let's just make sure that everything looks good in terms of everything is planted. And it looks like the entire field is planted. So the last thing we need to do is we need to get this stuff to our system. So what's going to be the best way to do that? Ender chest. Do we have any ender chests currently? This one is extracting. I think this is going into the system. Yes, it is. Alright, cool. So if we just get an ender chest that's white, white, white. I also want to get some conduit speed upgrades for that guy, just so it doesn't back up or anything. And we should have plenty of storage space. Why was it crafting that stuff? Cancel all that. So yeah, we have plenty of storage space. Almost. This is all fluid storage, so I'll probably need to get more storage space. I'll do that off camera. But let's get an ender chest. And that should work. So let's see, where is ender chest? Make one of those. We'll get conduit speed upgrades, just a couple of them, and a few conduits, and that should be everything we need. Now here's the cool thing. What we just did is gonna clear off like 3 different achievements, and then all we have to do from here, I don't know if this will automatically output. Configure IO, push. It will. Cool. But I don't think it's faster. So let's break this. And we're gonna just do one of these. Extract always active. And now we just need to get an insert. And that is a lot better. So cool. So there we go. That is 20 different crops automated with pretty much everything we need. So let's go through the book, starting from the beginning, and click off everything that it does. So Wood Age is completely done. Stone Age is completely done. Farming Age. So, mystical farming. Use growth crystals or growth accelerators to speed up crop growth. We're doing that. We have these guys, which are tier 3s, I think. Pretty good, anyways. Dragon's Egg, we'll need to do that at some point. Automate crop harvesting. We're doing that. Reactor stuff, we'll get to that later. And then the last thing is we have build an inter-IO farming station with octacapacitors, which automates 20 different crops, which it is. So yeah, 3 different achievements with 1 little build, and honestly, it's not that big of a not that much of a problem to build that. So the only thing we got to worry about at this point is storage. That will probably be a problem sooner rather than later. And it's making, for the record, it is making TNT to fill up this, which is fine. It can go ahead and do that. I could also just tell it to make, 20 stacks. A bunch of stacks of it, and it will be a little bit more efficient. Now, the other thing is storage disks. Do I have those automatically being made? I have the fluid storage disks, but 16K storage parts. 64Ks. I don't think we can get anything higher than that. Storage. No. So that's fine. What we'll have to do, we could make the storage blocks. That is another way we could do this. That way we don't have to make the storage drives. But I don't think it's really that important. I don't even know what crafting storage is. Anyways, that is honestly enough of that. So we got a bunch of things done. How are we doing on the cobblestone? Out of curiosity. We have 19 sextuples. And these guys are still working. So 19 sextuples gives us what? 2 septuples? Okay. That's not bad. Let's put that in a place that is a little bit more obvious. Let's see. Let's get a chest, and we'll put that on top. And then, yeah, we'll eventually get there with the cobblestone. It'll work, and we'll get what we need. So yeah, that is not too bad. We're also making a bunch of bread, which I think that is being made as we get it, and that is what we're using for the culinary generator. So we'll need to get a lot of toast. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some seeds, and we're gonna take this off. That doesn't have water. Why does that not have water? Extract always active. Did it take too much water? Do I need more reservoirs? I might need more reservoirs. If that's the case, not that big of a deal. I don't have... I have a sink. I have a sink over here. So that is something to kind of keep in mind as well. We might need more reservoirs. Yeah, we're going to need more reservoirs. That's fine. I might put one like right here, and I'll manage that off camera. But yeah, that would explain a lot. Most of these are mostly filled, but I'll have to work on that. So that's a problem I will fix later. But we need to get a lot of different things for this stuff, and I know we didn't get to the power harvesting for these. So we're going to need, what, 17 crystals for power input. And we're probably going to want... we're probably going to be able to get by with just the wyvern for most of these, except for the actual rainbow generator, which will need the draconic, definitely. But we'll kind of figure that out. That'll be something that we'll set up later. So that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to finish up figuring this out before next episode, so we can have automatic disenchanting, and then we will send all the items over here. I will get the rest of the milk bottles produced and automate that somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to do that at, but I'll get all that stuff kind of ready, get all this stuff filled up so that we can, or not filled up, but start getting at least some more of it, like the dragon's breath. We'll need to get more of that, and start working towards getting all of this ready to go. So that's the plan for next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!